Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Friday, December 12th, 2025. A man is facing charges of child abuse after allegedly driving under the influence with 4 children in his car in Yucca Valley. On Saturday at around 10:30 p.m., California Highway Patrol officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle on Warren Way, east of Old Woman Springs Road in Yucca Valley. County records show that the driver, Kevin Marmolejo, 34, was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence and possession of metal knuckles. The CHP did not provide additional information about the circumstances of the arrest. On Wednesday, Marmolejo was arraigned in San Bernardino County Superior Court, where he is facing misdemeanor charges related to DUI and weapons possession and 4 additional felony charges of willfully causing or permitting a child to suffer. San Bernardino County Supervising Deputy District Attorney Douglas Poston told Z107.7 that the additional charges of child abuse were added because Marmolejo had 4 children in his car at the time of his arrest. Poston said that when drivers are arrested for DUI, they are notified that, quote, if you continue to drive while under the influence of alcohol or drugs or both, and as a result of that driving, someone is killed, you can be charged with murder. Other more serious charges, like child abuse, can be added as well. Several recent fatal collisions in the Morongo Basin have led to charges of murder being filed against drivers suspected of being under the influence. Lucy Barajas, a 41-year-old resident of Yucca Valley, is facing murder charges after allegedly driving under the influence and hitting 2 men on August 12th. Poston said that every DUI case is different and evaluated by its own facts, with appropriate charges filed related to those facts. Kevin Marmolejo was arraigned on Wednesday on 2 misdemeanor charges of driving under the influence, 1 misdemeanor charge of possessing a controlled substance, 1 charge of being in possession of metal knuckles, and 4 felony charges of child abuse. He pled not guilty to all 8 charges. The Desert Region Fire Safe organization has been awarded a special grant from the California Fire Foundation to expand fire prevention and preparedness services in the Morongo Basin. Reporter Gabriel Hart takes a closer look at this positive development for our high fire risk area.
The funding from the Wildfire Prevention and Preparedness Grant will support Desert Region Fire Safe's new initiative, Project Fire Safe Morongo Basin, providing safety tools to some of our area's most vulnerable households. Seniors, low-income families, renters, mobile home residents, and others living in high and very high wildfire threat zones will benefit from the initiative. With the grant, the Desert Region Fire Safe team says they will install free smoke alarms in underserved and high-risk homes, conduct defensible space and home hardening assessments, offer fire extinguisher demonstrations, provide bilingual fire safety and evacuation education, and expand digital outreach to more residents. I asked Desert Region Fire Safe's Justin Marino how this grant came about, what areas would be in focus, and what makes those areas high fire risk.
So since moving into Fire Station 2 and partnering with the CSD and Morongo Valley Fire, it's opened some new opportunities for the community, specifically for grant funding. It's allowed us to leverage that partnership and our collaboration with the fire department to get grants that we weren't previously eligible for, like the California Fire Foundation grant that we just received. It serves the Morongo Basin, specifically high and very high wildfire threat zones. That's going to be Morongo Valley and Pioneer Town. What makes those areas high and very high is going to be the landscape and topography. As we know, as we're driving on Highway 62 or through Pioneer Town, the landscape looks very different, whether you're driving through, let's say, Yucca or Joshua Tree or 29. Specifically, what's called the WUI, which is your wildland urban interface, where you have, let's say, more of a green area backing up to where residential and commercial areas are. Specifically, Morongo Valley has obviously a lot of what we call a forested area. So there's lots of green, lots of trees. As you make your way up the Yucca grade, you start to see that it, quote unquote, become more desert landscape. So that's what makes it high in a very high wildfire threat compared to where we have open space, let's say Yucca Valley, Alto Under Valley. It's more of a flat desert scape. So that's the main difference.
For more information, please visit desertfire.org. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Gabriel Hart.
The Yucca Valley High School senior class is hosting a Christmas movie night today. They will be screening the live-action The Grinch on an inflatable screen at the Yucca Valley High School football field. They invite you to come snuggle up under the stars for the screening, which is completely free. Snacks and drinks will be sold with funds going toward the senior class's graduation fireworks. The screening begins at 5 p.m. tonight at Yucca Valley High School on the football field. A group art show debuts this evening in Pioneer Town. The second annual Cabinet of Curiosities show debuts in the Sculpture Garden at the Pottery. Come out to support local artists, see wonderful curiosities, and hear live music from Janie Cowan. The show debuts at 53626 Main Street in Pioneer Town tonight from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you missed tonight's opening, the show runs through January 24th. The Flamingo Heights Community Center is holding their final event of the year, a winter disco community dance party and fundraiser. It's tonight, and it features an all-vinyl DJ set by DJ Lisa Zhu, spinning disco, new wave, soul, post-punk, power pop, and more. Expect a cash bar and food for sale from Vietnamese-inspired vegan pop-up Mystic Meal. Funds raised at the event will help the Flamingo Heights Community Center continue to put on fun events and programming in the new year. The Winter Disco Community Dance Party is happening tonight from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Flamingo Heights Community Center, located at 55977 Paris Street in Yucca Valley. Santa Claus is visiting Jenny's Corner Boutique tomorrow morning. The local shop is hosting a Pictures with Santa event on Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. Jenny's Corner Boutique is located at the corner of Mohawk Trail and the highway in Yucca Valley. And finally, local area shelters need less animals in them, but they are also in need of donations for the dogs and cats that are temporarily housed there. Online news editor Robert Hayden has more.
Our local animal shelters are full of dogs and cats needing a permanent home, but in the meantime, they need to stay as healthy and comfortable as possible. That's why many shelters accept donations beyond those of the monetary type, and if you're doing some fall cleaning in preparation for the cold months, keep an eye out for these items and set them aside for a dog or cat in need. The Yucca Valley Animal Shelter says they can use blankets, sheets, and towels, along with pet toys and wet cat and dog food, too. Palms and Paws and 29 Palms has a foster program that's been very successful. They're looking for donations of pet crates and plastic totes. The crate should be in good shape and include the tray. The shelter says that the crates help enable a dog to go stay with the foster family instead of at the shelter. They also have an Amazon wish list for the shelter with specific items they could use. And the Joshua Tree No-Kill Shelter has lots of ways you can donate, including a Chewy wish list to give you an idea of what they're looking for. They've also launched their Howdy Partner program with recurring donations that help the longer residents at the shelter. Dogs and cats desperately need our help to stay out of shelters, and they can't do it alone. Do your part for the future and spay or neuter your animals, even if they're indoor pets. A dog or cat that gets loose and isn't fixed can make them wander more and do what nature intends. And don't forget the grim math that every dog or cat that is purchased from a breeder means one more animal in a shelter without a home. Please adopt, don't shop. We'll have links to the wish list as well as shelter locations of this story on our website, Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z107.7fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.